Just like that. We're live once again on the same night. StreamYard tried it, but can't keep a bad bitch down. Um we're just gonna start it all over. The energy will be better, the technical difficulties will no longer be there. So yeah, we just decided to start over. Nobody's here yet, but if you're watching this on the playback, we are Key and Carrie. Where we Key.
And we Carrie.
I'm Damon.
I'm Troy.
And we are back again with another episode. The Come Up this time. The Come Up season 4, ATL. Back in the peach, baby. Back in the peach. But yes, back in the peach. Season 4, episode 1, entitled The Bone Carrier, as we said before. The Bone Collector. Bone Crusher. But yes. So yeah, we're just gonna start over just because I guess we can give a more concise understanding of our thoughts and stuff this go round. Stream gave us another chance, child. But yes, shout out to for Pickens. Back in the peach. Yes. Back to topping. My goodness. Oh
You're
my
this
God.
Talk.
Listen. Top Talk. Shout out to Rico.
Mr. Rico with hey.
Yes, but we're not talking about chasing. We're talking about the Come Up, ATL. But yes, entitled The Bone Collector. So what were your general thoughts before we go into like the episode? I guess kind of give like a sum up of your general thoughts. About this episode.
Excuse me. Munching on this damn sour punch. Goodness. It's basically the Milan show. As I said in our earlier recording.
Yes.
For some punk ass website just completely cut us off. But anyway.
Punk ass.
It's a Milan show. Jumper. I believe you said that this episode was Milan heavy. It was, but overall, it was a good episode. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah. As I said in our first run through of this, I'm excited to see Atlanta because Atlanta was really popular last season. And for a good reason. I feel like they brought the drama and it was interesting. So I'm excited to see what happens this season. And I think they have a pretty decent cast. I think everybody's somewhat pulling their weight. I think everybody's giving something. So I like that. But yeah, I definitely feel like episode 1 was definitely the pilot of Milan show. Like it was definitely giving like everybody was like spiraling to talk about Milan. Like that was like the topic of discussion. And she ain't fuck nobody, man. But anyway, you would think they would be the top of the discussion. But anyway, yeah, I just feel like they're trying really hard to come from Milan, which is weird because Milan doesn't give much. Like I feel like Milan doesn't give that rah-rah energy back. So it's just like, I don't know. It's like you're kind of like, it's almost giving bullying tease, no shade. Which is crazy because apparently they are all like they're friends and like in this friend group. But how do you feel like they're trying to bully Milan? How do you feel about that situation?
I don't really think they're bullying Milan. I just feel like they're using Milan as a storyline.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
I could see that. I just say bully because I feel like I don't know. It's like, I just feel like they just stay coming for her. And I just feel like it's not like they're saying like, oh, this person is the reason why this happened. I just feel like they're like coming for him and just like bringing up shit that don't even matter or make sense to like spite him. So I'm just like, what's the real issue? I mean, we are back in the peach, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the real issue here. But yeah, definitely give him Milan show. But I like Milan. I think Milan is funny and interesting. So like I'm not really too mad at it. And we got some other people coming in, so I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring. But yeah, aside from that, Oh, so yeah, like we talked about earlier, we open on kind of like a memorial video of Rock, who
Mhm.
has been on Gemini Films, has been on, I don't think he was in Bad Boys Club, but has been on the Come Up, Atlanta. And yeah, he's been on some other shows and done some other things, but he's unfortunately no longer with us. So definitely want to say rest in peace to Rock. He will be missed. I enjoyed Rock. Rock had some funny moments. Like when he brought that date to that house party and he got super drunk.
Mhm.
I was that was a moment. So
And a couple episodes of the Come Up Atlanta season 1 where he courted Demario.
yes, I forgot about that. That kiss in the car. They just kissed in the car last week. Last
Last
week.
week.
My goodness. Anyway, but yes, rest in peace, Rock. You will definitely be missed. But yeah, so we're just gonna go through the scenes and give our thoughts as usual. I said okay, so we open on Kimmy, new bitch, new bitch, oh bitch, but yes, we're introduced to Kimmy, who has since transitioned. Obviously used to be on the show and then transitioned, goes by a different name. So I said, yes, Kimmy No Blanco was thumping through the streets of Atlanta, ready for this damn meetup. I feel like maybe that's why she was stomping so hard, was because she was on guard, like just meeting up with somebody that she has an issue with. Like I feel like she was like, bitch, I'm off the like I'm coming ready, okay? Like yeah, she was stomping through. But she meets up with Judy, Judy Dow, who is also there, or who was there first, and ends up ordering her a drink. We just talked about this, but yeah, I need me a fresh glass. I'm not trying to drink from a glass that's that was there when I got there. Like,
Yes.
no. Um, but yeah, we talked about the whole Grand Theft thing and how like, you know, basically Judy borrowed Judy borrowed
Wasn't
Kimmy's
she
car
didn't
without
borrow it
her.
because she didn't ask.
True. So stole it, really. Really like but yes, yeah, I just think that's irresponsible. You should always ask when you borrow something big like a car. There's always a big liability there, so you should always ask. Don't just take something that, you know, like that big without asking. So but like I said, I feel like, you know, shout out to Kimmy for being able to move past it. Um and I guess Judy um is somewhat trying to like take accountability for it, although it was giving emotionally detached in the scene. But yeah, at least he's making payments. I guess that's all that matters. And I want to take this time to highlight Shed Pearl's comment. Forgot to highlight this, but hey, Shed Pearl, thank you
Yes,
for
thanks for
being
being here. Share pros in the
here.
building.
It's good to see your face. And also top pick this season. Topic this season. Okay. I see where you're going, Pickens. But yes, your thoughts on the scene, Troy.
I just said Judy was giving her attitude was giving very much. I'm just here to film.
Mhm.
Like, sorry I wrecked your car, but yeah, just nonchalant. Uh,
It
I
was giving
did say
a sociopathic T. Didn't we say that before?
very sociopathic,
Like,
very sociopathic. But I did say like, granted, Judy is paying the bill for like Kimmy's rental, but I mean in that situation, you really don't have a fucking like choice. Like,
yeah.
so I don't know. I never. I was kind of like indifferent to Judy like last season, but
Last
this
season?
season is just it's really 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 getting weird. It's almost
Yeah.
like let's deflect from the bigger issue and I don't know,
Yeah.
put
I
my head
mean,
up Ron's ass. That's what it's
I
getting.
agree. Like, I'm kind of indifferent towards Judy, but I feel like I don't know. She didn't really give much last season. It was more so like this situation she's trying to make happen with Milan. So like to see her come back, or to see Milan come back, or I'm sorry, this is the Live from Hell. My goodness. Oh, thank you for bearing with us, people. But to see Judy come back and be talking about the same shit is like, oh my god, it's a new season, new year. Like, why are we still talking about old shit? Why are you bringing up old shit? Like,
Mind you, we're not even at the reunion yet.
Yeah. I'm just like, y'all beating a dead horse at this point. And I think we talked about it last season, but like Milan sleeping with Leon when they were in high school, way before he knew Darian, is way different from Messiah sleeping with Leon while he is with Darian. Like, I don't know what's not clicking. What's not clicking? Like, I don't understand what is not clicking. Like, that's two different situations. And them continuously trying to like make it make sense. It's not happening. You cannot make 2 + 2 = 9. It's just not gonna happen. Like, so yeah, I just feel like they need to both work on their conflict resolution skills instead of worrying about Milan. But like the title says, it's giving why you so obsessed with me. Like, it's giving like you need to find something to do. That doesn't have anything to do with me.
Very true.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole. I just think that the beef is stale, and that was last season, and you already got some shit to talk about now. You done wrecked old girl's car, and let that be your storyline. Let doing hair be your storyline. Like,
right? Let you be a hairstylist and a car thief be your storyline, baby. That's so interesting.
Well, child, somebody was
by day about... and a Kia booster by night, baby. No shade. A Kia boy by night. That's what it is. Hairstylist by day, Kia boy by night.
Somebody's storyline is snatched wigs and pistol whips, so we gonna get to that. You want to talk about some situations? We gonna get to that.
I just want to know what that snatch was. It like a whole handful, but we gonna get to it. Look at me, snatching my own durag, baby. My goodness.
But yeah, like I said, I'm just confused why they stay coming from Milan. Milan is shady, but I don't think Milan has any ill will. Like,
yeah, everybody on the show is shady, but they always pinpoint and target Milan. Like, we'll get to it. This whole episode was okay, but it was this sit down. Listening to people try to make a situation with Milan out of nothing was I lost brain cells. Because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And a couple of these hoes is bandwagon ass bitches. But we're gonna talk about that
part.
We're gonna talk about that.
But yes, speaking of Milan, we have a scene with him and his husband. Shout out to him. He got married. I said Milan got a man at home, baby, and hopefully he's so good to him. Like, I'm like, shout out to that. Like, I'm glad that, you know, somebody found love. I know that that's something that he wanted, so I'm glad that, you know, it happened for him. They're a cute couple. I think physically, like I was saying, in the live we shall not speak of, again. I was saying that they physically they look good, but I feel like the vibe was giving like low-key kind of tense, and I don't know if it's because this is their first scene, like, you know, filming for like the show. Like, I don't know if this is the first scene they filmed, but it was kind of giving like a little weird energy. But again, like I said, maybe they just were uncomfortable. But what did you think of the scene?
I said they're a handsome couple. You know, I think it's interesting that, first of all, the husband, I don't know if they gave his name, but the husband, Milan's husband, proposed 4 times. I said, that's interesting. Now, 4 times, one, that means that he really, really, really like saw himself with Milan. But the fact that Milan declined 3 times, I was like, I like Milan. I've always liked Milan, but the fact that he declined like 3 times says like he really had to think about taking the next step. Yeah, he had to like kind of just mentally and I guess spiritually get himself like right. He just took his time to like make the decision. And I feel like with a decision like that, a lot of people, especially a lot of younger gays or queers or whatever, they feel the need to
queers. No, I'm just playing.
But they feel the need to kind of be in a relationship, or they feel the need to kind of have to be with somebody. So I feel like I'm just happy that Milan took his time and he didn't just rush into marriage. So I hope they last. Like, they're a really handsome couple.
I agree. I feel like at first I was like, now Milan, this man asked you 4 times. But then I'm like, I wonder what was the span of the 4 times? Like, if they met in 2021, when did he first ask him to marry him? Because I'm like, if you're asking, I can see if you're asking, like, did he ask like within like week spans, like for you to think on it, and he just kept asking you, or was he asking you throughout the relationship? Because I'm like, I mean, 4 times, that's a lot of times to ask,
Right.
if y'all just met in like 2021. So part of me was thinking, like, did this happen too soon, or or what? But then I was like, maybe I'm just overthinking. But I'm glad that they're together. Hopefully, we see their relationship positively blossom. It's a positive representation. But yeah, I think Milan, like, taking the time to like really figure out if this is what he wants was good. And like, I agree with you. Like, I feel like sometimes people just jump into relationships just to be with somebody, just to have that outward look of like, look, I'm with someone, look, I have someone to take Instagram photos with, which is what it is. But I'm glad that he really took the time to think about if this was somebody he really wanted to be with. But
I did want to ask you, co-host and audience, how many times would you reject a proposal, I guess, before your partner said yes?
Now, I asked that, and that's when StreamYard started messing with us. So that I mean, I guess that question was just too much because it wasn't shady. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like I said, it depends on the time span. Like, I know some people, if they like propose to you and you say no, like that's the end of the relationship. Like, it's almost like it's all or nothing kind of thing. It doesn't seem like that's what it was with them, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe once, if I don't want to marry you, then it's enough. But I mean, I guess if it's too soon, then maybe like, twice, I guess. But like, if it's like, I know I don't want to marry you, then it's just one, I guess.
That's real.
Like, it's just no. I'm like, no. Like, but yeah. What about you?
Same. I would say twice. Like, if it's too soon, if we're dating too soon and you ask me to marry you, I think I'm just gonna walk away from that altogether. That sounds like cray, red flags, and I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gives like, and I'm not saying that his husband did this to him, but it kind of gives like that early, like, what do they call it when like you just like show a lot of affection and love to somebody like very early, and then it's like, it's almost like to kind of manipulate you into like, being in some relationship that you probably wouldn't want to be in. But it's like they like adore you with all this love, and then it's like when the other side comes, you're too busy thinking about that stage where they showed you all this love. But I think like early engagement would be a sign of that. But like, I don't know if that's their relationship. I don't want to put that on their relationship. But they seem cute. I will hope we see like more scenes with them. Like, I hope that the boyfriend is like not a character on the show.
The husband.
You're right. My bad. The husband. You're right. Sorry, Milan. But yeah, I hope that the husband is around. I hope he's like a person on the show, kind of like Leon. But child, we know what happened when that.
Like Leon without the drama.
Right.
Without the drama, okay? Sweets without the drama.
Baby, he came to Milan's house to drop off that food and some ass whooping. I'm like, you dropping off food and trying to throw hands. But anyway, that was last season. But yeah, that was Milan and his husband. I said clearly they've been through something, because when Milan said that they've been through difficulties, the husband took a big ass gulp. I said, damn, okay, like, well, at least y'all together now. Like, I know people go through it, but him taking that big ass gulp sent me. Like, and then Milan was like, what you trying to say? Like, am I a difficult person to be with? And then shout out to Karan and the editing, because this is some shit I would have did if I was the editor. The slow zoom in on them, like Milan was like staring daggers at him. And then the husband was like, took a gulp and was like, I wouldn't say you're difficult to be with. I was like, ooh. Milan got the energy in him. They better listen to Messiah. Like, they keep fucking with him. Like,
keep fucking with this on my sponsor of this ass.
Okay? Yeah, and no shade, but Milan do got them crazy eyes. No shade. Like, Milan seems like he would just be like very nice and just bitch run you over with a car and just keep it moving. Like,
and you know you can't park. Baby, remember
right?
Park into that spot last season, I almost saw his bumper up.
Oh my god! Like he would just get you real good in your gut and then laugh and keep it moving. Like just some. You never know. Like he might just crack. But yeah, that whole little exchange sent me. And then I said, not the sound of them kissing. I said, this is sending me into a psychosis.
Right.
Sorry. And like, this is sending me into psychosis. Like, the fact that
it was so loud and just so.
I was like, what the fuck?
So much tongue. My goodness.
That was a lot of tongue.
I did not need that shit.
I know they told the cameras to leave after that because that was down.
The mic has to be off. Okay.
You were talking about a slob down. I said, yo, this is a lot. Like, did y'all forget the cameras was here? Gosh. Hello, we still here. Child, let me grab my bag so I can go because this is a lot. Like, damn, I know the cameraman was like, okay, this is a lot, but my job. But yeah, shout out to them and their union. So after that, Milan meets with this new cast member named Isaiah. I guess I don't know how they know each other. I don't remember how they said that they know each other, but basically they kind of sit down in Isaiah's shop where he does hair. And I guess he tells Milan about a situation he had previously. I guess he was doing hair somewhere, and I guess he did some girl's hair. She didn't want to pay. He snatched the wig because she didn't want to pay. She called her goons. They came back and pistol whipped his ass. I said, my goodness, that's terrible. I don't even want to make light of that because that seems like a scary situation, but I'm like, damn, like that's a lot.
The
pistol.
I'm gonna let you continue, man.
Pistol whipped him and robbed the whole store
and jumped him.
So damn, that's pretty fucked. Like, I mean, I don't think snatching the wig was necessary, I guess you could say. I feel like you could have just called the police. I don't know what happens when you do somebody's hair and they don't want to pay or they don't pay. So I guess I won't do too much, but I mean, you did start the physical altercation first by snatching the wig off. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But
I said I felt bad, you know, he was attacked.
Yeah.
But then he parted his lips to be transphobic. And I said, not you being transphobic out the same mouth that them straight niggas put their foot in without your consent. Now, let's talk about that.
Not without your consent. You a fool.
Let's talk about that.
Not without his consent.
I said, not you talking about a traumatic experience and then being transphobic in the same breath. He lost me.
Yeah.
So I no longer have any interest for Isaiah or 52 of his teeth. So I'm sorry.
Not 52 of his teeth. Let me highlight some of Pickens and Shed's comments. But oh yes, Shed Pearl, thank you for saying that. Love bombing, what I was talking about earlier, giving you a bunch of love in the beginning and then, you know, to kind of manipulate you. Love bombing, that's what it is. Thank you so much, Shed Pearl. And Pickens Play said, not a fan of the new guy. Yeah, this wasn't a good first impression just because like you said, he started to be transphobic. I guess he's talking to Milan. Milan, I guess, is talking about the group that he wants to introduce Isaiah to. And so I guess he brings up Kimmy, and then Isaiah does this weird thing where it's like, oh, like, well, is it, you know, their dead name or is it Kimmy? Like, and he did that stupid thing that people do where it's like, oh, are you gonna wake up tomorrow and want to be a boy again? Like, don't have me calling you a different pronoun. And I'm just like, where is this coming from? Like, what's this giving? Like, I want a problem with you so bad. Like, I need a storyline because it just came out of nowhere.
Right.
And especially to find out that he's never even met Kimmy, it's like, girl, you're doing a lot. Like, I don't understand.
I wonder what the disconnect is between like Black gay men and like trans women. Really, like trans women, when they like began their transition, it's like when it's just like so negative. Like whenever a trans woman is on the show, and then even from like G Status to not Web Life, because Web Life was what's the other show we did? Houston, On the Rise Houston.
Oh yeah,
was a little bit transphobic. So it's just crazy to see like gay men be like belittled and attacked and judged, and then you turn around and then you like judge our trans sisters. So I'm always confused when Black queer men are transphobic, because like we're in the same minority as like the person you're bashing, the person that you're attacking. So like I said, I don't have anything else for the new cast member.
I mean, honestly, I feel like you're right. Like, especially like watching like a show like Chasing Atlanta and like seeing like Kendra talk about like her trans sisters and how like they're still dying and like, still being murdered. So like, I don't know. It is unfortunate that like people within the community like to add on to that. But I feel like it's one of those instances where I feel like a lot of gay men that are transphobic tend to like suffer from like internalized femphobia. Like they feel like it's like a hierarchy. Like they feel like, okay, well, at least I'm not that, far from being straight or being, conventional. Like they feel like, well, I'm not that whatever. So like it's fine. Like I can kind of keep that hierarchy because at least I'm not that bad, I guess. But it's like they look at their own femininity and they don't like it either. So I don't really know what Isaiah's problem is. It just seemed to come out of nowhere, especially since you don't know her. It's like, like what? Like I don't know.
It's probably,
but I feel
honestly
it could be that. Well, we've seen that before. Like I ain't, anyway. But yeah, that was weird. I just put in my notes, ew, transphobia. But yeah, that was super weird. Yeah, and I said it's given he wants a moment with Kimmy, but you don't have to be transphobic to get that moment. You could have said, and this is where you want to go. Some shit that didn't even make sense. I'm like, why are you acting like she's changing her gender every day? Like she transitioned.
Yeah, and even if she was, why the fuck do you care? Like that's weird as fuck. It's giving Judy.
No shade, it was given like my comprehension of new ideas is fucked because the way he was like just confused, I was like, do you need a kid's book to like explain to you what being trans is? Like it was just giving very like read it again, like comprehend it, like yeah, I don't know, very strange. But yeah, after that, also before we move from that, shout out to Milan for defending. Well, he didn't really defend her in the scene, but I like how he, said what he said in the confessional and basically was like, that's weird. Like, I'm not even really that cool with Kimmy, but like, I'm still respecting her and calling her by her preferred name. Like, I'm not going to go that low. Like, for what? It's unnecessary. So if a bitch that don't even like Kimmy is saying that, then, and you don't even know her and is saying that, like, that says something about you. But moving on to the next scene, Judy. I titled this Judy's obsession continues. So Judy decides to sit down with Milan. Shout out to all the sit downs. I feel like they got all of the like, I feel like I kind of understand why they talk so much about the mess from last season so much. Hopefully this is just like a wrap up of like the lingering shit that happened last season, and then they're just gonna move on to some new shit. Because there were a lot of sit downs talking about last year's drama or last season's drama. So hopefully this is just nipped in the bud. But they sit down, Judy and Milan, and once again, Judy ordered the person a drink. Maybe that's just her way of his way of being like, oh, like extending the olive branch, like here, I got you a drink, maybe. But I'm just
maybe my olive branch would be to keep my fucking name on my mouth. That's my goddamn olive branch.
That's that Gemini energy. But yes, yeah, you're right. I agree. But yeah, I said Judy in this confessional with this questionable top.
It was in the confessional covering his nips. Like, girl, you either gonna have the nip, you either gonna have the nip out, a nip slip, or you gonna have on something.
It should have been a slight blur, a slight blur across the top, baby. Just because you never know what's gonna peek out. But yes, yeah, the questionable top was sending me. It was the top and the baby fro. I was like, I'm here for it. I was here for it.
No shade. Anytime I see anybody with a
was
baby, bro, I
like,
think our good auntie Jennifer Lawrence.
yes.
Okay. Wait, not Jennifer. Wait. Jennifer Lewis. I'm sorry. Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer Lawrence is the white bro. I'm sorry. Jennifer Lewis.
I'm
sorry.
mad that I knew what you was talking
Jennifer
about.
Lewis.
And I'm like, yeah,
Jennifer
I know exactly
Lewis.
what you mean. Yes, Jennifer
My bad.
Jennifer Lawrence, my goodness. Ooh, it has been a long day. Can you tell that we're slowly going insane? Slowly but surely. But let me highlight a couple comments just because I thank anybody for being here, tolerating this foolishness from us. But Pickens says, does he have a shop or is it his home? Because why you ain't call the cops as your business? Yeah, going back to that was a little confusing because it's almost like they were asking about his home and he was doing hair out of his home, but then the way he was explaining it kind of sounded like a business.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe he got a shop now instead of like just having it in his house. I don't know. But yeah, this definitely he didn't really explain it the best way, but he was too focused on that transphobia. Glad Milan checked it, and I'm glad Milan checked it in person, not just in the confessional. Yes, he did kind of like. I feel like Milan is kind of mature in a way where he's not as like, because somebody else would have been like, "Bitch, excuse me, like watch your fucking mouth," like. But he was like respectfully trying to like, "No, we're not gonna do that to my Google girlfriend, my sister, whoever. Like, even if I'm not cool with her right now, like that's still we still gonna respect the pronouns and the gender identities." But power move, you take his drink, you can't possibly stay mad at me.
My child, it's just a drink. Shit.
Like,
I mean, no shit to Pickens, but if that's Judy's mentality, then it's just a drink. That's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, if you wrecked my car,
$50 buffet. If you want me to stop being mad at you,
if you wrecked my car, you buy me a drink. Ain't gonna fix it. I feel like what needs to be done is them mending that trust and that like that real friendship stuff back. Like they need to rebuild their trust and just like, Kimmy needs to look at her like, make sure she's not resentful and things like that. So not me trying to be a therapist, but yeah, I feel like they just need to work on that versus like him trying to buy her, or try to manipulate her into just forgetting about it. Not looking like Florida Evans. Shit, bro, I cannot. Florida
that's
Evans,
low.
I cannot. But we live for Florida Evans. Judy's fro can never. Okay, like. But yes. So yeah, I said questionable top. So basically they're Milan making a joke about like having the drink already there before they got there, and he's like, "You didn't drug it, did you?" And he's like, "Oh, well, you might feel the drugs or something like that." But what sent me was when Milan said, "Do you have any drugs in your possession?" I said, "Milan is so shady."
And it was the awkward silence for me.
I was
now going back to editing. If I was the editor, baby, I would have clipped in that face off between Diddy and our boy, and then I would have added in the intro from Only.
Yeah,
baby. Do you have drugs in your possession? I said that's it.
I said, my goodness. It was the way he said it too. Like I was like,
Milan can't read.
Milan is shady, and Milan is so good at it. It's so funny because I feel like they don't even be catching some of the shade. Like when Judy was saying, what's he saying, like straddle wrong or something like that? Yeah, she was like repeating it, but the correct way. I was like, you better get in that peach, Milan. You better do it. But yeah, I said, bringing this old drama into like this season is just annoying to me. I just don't understand why they continue to like harp on it. But again, like I said, this is the first episode, so maybe they're just trying to wrap up, what they've been talking about. But yeah, I said, Judy, is Milan hooking up with Leon a fantasy of yours? Like, is that something that you want to happen? Like, are you trying to manifest it? Because you just keep harping on this fact that they messed around in high school. Like, it was high school. Like, y'all are almost 30 now. Like please give it up. Like, it's giving I'm stuck in high school, honestly. It's giving like
it's giving I want
nothing else happen. That's very that. It's giving that, honestly. But yeah, your thoughts on this scene while I look at my notes.
I just said Judy's giving weird because she couldn't give, or he couldn't give, like a clear explanation of why they feel like Milan shot was a fence. Like, I get the whole Judy being upset with Sky, Judy being upset with Milan about like Sky coming to an event that she was at. But like Milan said, it was Pyro's event. So why don't you have the same heat for Pyro that you have for me? So right. I just felt like this is regurgitated information. Judy can't give a valid reason on why she doesn't care for Milan. She keeps talking about Milan. I'm just the type of person where if I don't see it for you, I just don't acknowledge your existence. So
right.
She just want to bump coin purses with. Judy just wants to bump uglies with. Bump pocketbooks with Milan. And I just would rather her say that instead of to drag out this imaginary beef, this unnecessary sexual attention with this recently married man.
It is giving sexual attention. I'm not gonna lie, and you know us. We always put that on some shit. But this is honestly, it is kind of giving like I'm slighted by you in some way. But yeah, I'm just like, why are you so concerned about something that has nothing to do with you? Like, your friend was in it, but like you're more mad at Milan than the person that attacked your friend, or that was going to attack your friend. Like that wanted to fight your friend. Like you said, if you really had that energy, like to defend your friend, you would have came for Pyro, but you didn't. So I said them going back and forth was funny because, like Messiah said, they both don't give fighter. So it's just kind of like them like acting like they were about to fight is just so funny. Like Judy like saying that he was gonna beat Milan's ass. Milan saying, "Oh, I'm gonna throw this drink." It's just kind of like, okay, the antics, y'all. We know y'all ain't gonna do this shit. Like, it's fine. But yeah, I said yes, Judy is pressed. And yeah, I said Judy is kind of looking like the punk ass bitch. He called Milan the punk ass bitch, but I said you're picking on I still kind of feel like they're picking on him. I know we kind of talked about it, but like I feel like you're coming for somebody that does not want that energy from you and hasn't done anything to you. So you kind of have an issue with him about something where the person that was really like in the shit isn't even a part of the group anymore, isn't even on the show. So it's like, what's the point? But anyway, moving on, and of course, let us know what y'all think in the comments.
I did want to before we move on, I did want to mention one more comment. So, excuse me, when Milan mentioned something like Judy can kiss my ass, and Judy was like, "Oh, you just want me to kiss your ass?" I was like, "No, you want to kiss Milan's ass because you want Milan." But anyway, when Milan was like, "I'm married," and Judy was like, "Oh, most hoes do get married." And she was like, "I'm young, wild, and free." And Milan was like, "Most desperate girls are." Judy was like, "Desperate?" Yes. Judy was floored.
I was gagged by the oh no, I don't want you to kiss my ass. I'm married. Like the shade, the shade. Like, hey,
Judy, oh my god, gagged, baby. I'm living for Milan this season. Like Milan, like, I'm sick of y'all shit. Like, if y'all gonna dislike me, you gotta have a valid reason on why you dislike me.
Exactly.
It's not making any sense.
I'm kind of here for it at first. Like, I don't like when like a group of people pile on one person, but Milan is really like the one because like you really can't like this reading session. Like, I feel like Milan took it. Flawless victory. Like, that's what it was given. Like Judy didn't have a chance. Like, it was just
see, like Judy sat there sipping on that drink. So yeah, Milan. I said Milan 1, Judy 0.
Yeah. Yeah, the I'm married really took me out. But then Messiah, we get a scene with Messiah in the booth. Messiah ends up meeting up with Kimmy. I said Messiah's I guess his alter ego, his rap name is Vixen. I said, okay, I could see that.
That's such a light skin name.
Right.
It's such a name for a light skin.
I was gonna say that. I was like, it's definitely giving that. You look like a Vixen. No shade.
Messiah is so goddamn light skinned, baby.
Yes, it's so funny. I like Messiah though. I'm not gonna lie.
I do too.
But yeah, his name being Vixen is just sending me that being his rap name is sending me.
Ooh.
But yeah, like I said, Messiah said that neither Judy nor Mulan get fighter, so I thought that was pretty true, to be honest. And then I guess they talked about I guess Judy told Kimmy what had happened between him and Mulan, and so I guess he told her that, you know, Mulan threatened to throw a drink, but I'm like, you didn't tell her that you were threatening to beat his ass. So I think it's very interesting that you left that part out. So it kind of made Mulan seem like Mulan was like the aggressor and was gonna fight and all of that. So I was like, that's interesting. But yeah, I said Mulan throwing a drink better than Mason him. My goodness.
That dog spray.
Better than hitting him with that dog spray.
It's a lovely night.
Shout out to Rico Cassadine, who
hitting the face with some goddamn dog spray, baby.
Yes. Shout out to Rico Cassadine, who we've just recently interviewed from our last chasing interview. But yeah, it's better than Mace, I said. And I said this link up between Kimmy and Messiah wasn't really giving anything. I feel like they spent a lot of time talking about Mulan. Outside of that, I don't think they had good banter. I feel like Mulan and Dion have really good banter. Even when they were on the phone, after the sit down with Judy and Mulan called Dion, like even that exchange was like a key versus like this sit down with Kimmy and Messiah. So I don't know.
I feel like Judy, Kimmy, and Messiah kind of only bond together over there. Like, I guess they're just like a Mulan. Like,
are they mean girls?
I won't say mean girls. They're not really mean girls because they didn't press.
It's giving Dion. It's giving It's giving what is it called? It's giving from Chasing Atlanta. Ooh. Atlanta. This was something in Atlanta water. It's giving Dion and T3 Titty Tat Tag. That's what it's giving.
Wait, Dion. Wait, Dominique.
Did I say Dion? Oh my god.
Okay, Dom.
I meant Dom. But yes, it's so many names. But yes, it's giving Dom T3 that whole situation, and now they're not friends anymore. That's kind of what it's giving. They only link up to kind of like be mean girls, but let us know what y'all think about that.
Because, like, I don't know. I feel this is when I mentioned, like, I feel like Kimmy's a bandwagon because, like, she legit didn't have a reason to have any heat for, like, Mulan. She's like, oh, Mulan laughed at the fight. And I was like, well, bitch, everybody laughs at the fight. Granted, like, it was unfortunate that you were attacked, but Quay laughed at the fight. You didn't, like, have smoke for Quay or whatever. So I feel like Kimmy just has an issue with Mulan or had an issue with Mulan because Judy and Messiah had like an issue with Mulan. But
yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I feel like, I feel like I will also be mad at if somebody was laughing that I got jumped or was getting jumped and like laughing at the situation. But I don't know. Like, I think they were just laughing at like the fact that like not Kimmy getting jumped, but just like the whole situation.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. Like,
yeah, like, and I feel like, but I kind of get it. Like, if you're laughing, like, I kind of see. I feel like Kimmy has the only like legitimate, like, not beef with Milan, but like, I feel like if anybody feels some type of way about Milan, it should be Kimmy, because like, okay, like, yeah, where are we in our relationship if you're laughing about me getting jumped? But like you said, Quay was also laughing and she didn't press him. So picky and choosy. But yeah, that scene ends.
I did want to make one more note. I gagged when not really gagged, but I fucking cackled when Mulan hugged Messiah and was like, "Ooh, you fat? Where's fat?" And Messiah was like, "It's mine." I was like, "Mine."
I do remember that. It's mine. I said, "Okay, cornbread fed. I see you."
That's Vixen right there, baby. Now I wonder if Messiah's name is Vixen with 3 X's, because that would be
I was gonna say that Vixen the Natural. It should be something like that. That's what his name should be.
Can we also talk about Messiah's sweater in that confessional It was kind of giving like a grandma's rug from like back in like the early 90s. It's like the sweater wasn't ugly, but just the pattern just made me.
It was loud.
It was very loud.
Yeah,
it was very, very, very early 90s. Very, very early 90s. It was reminding me of a rug that like our aunt had back in the day. I was like, oh, I ain't seen one of these sweaters. So now I feel like I need to go get that sweater and possibly just turn it into a rug, just for like a nostalgia effect.
Shade. No, I thought the sweater was creative, but it was kind of loud.
It was.
But yeah, so then we get to Milan. We get to the final scene of the episode. Milan basically, wait, sorry, I'm trying to remember. I'm looking at my notes, but I'm like, wait, what happened? What happened in the final scene?
Milan, Kimmy, and Messiah.
Yes, the sit down. Okay, sorry, I didn't even title it aptly, but yes, Milan ends up meeting up with Kimmy at her house. I said that's interesting that y'all would meet at Kimmy's house. Like, I would want to meet with somebody I have issues with at my house. That's a little. Besides, like, just bringing that negative energy to my house, like, also just like if shit go left, shit, I don't know. Was I don't know, but
listen, you don't want to end up like what was that old boy from the come up season when they got squirreled in his own home? Chris and Tay Anthony.
Yes, Chris Amore. Yes, shout out to him. Where is he at? You should bring him back.
Right?
You should bring him back around. Yes, because he was definitely lit. He definitely had a lot going on. But yeah, I said Milan said that he don't usually have people at his house. I'm like, shit, not after that event that happened last season. Of course you don't have people at your house. Child, they almost tore that shit up.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
You messy as fuck. My goodness. Sweet with that damn special was about to turn Judith every which way. My goodness.
I was like, whoop. Oh. But I said Milan is shady, but Milan isn't really that messy. I feel like the only messy thing that he did was not tell Messiah that
homegirl was in the room.
Yeah, that old boy was at the he was in the building. So like to me, and then outside of that, I'm like, Messiah, why would you say it? You know you're around this group of people. Why would you say that if you don't want the issues with him? You know the issues that's gonna cause. So yeah. But outside of that, I don't feel like Milan has really done anything that's messy. He is shady, and maybe that's why the girls don't see it for him because they can't keep up with his his shade and shit. But I don't know.
I feel like the only person that can like spar with Milan and shade is Messiah.
And Dion.
Yeah, Dion.
Yeah.
And Dion. I can't wait for Dion to come make a cameo.
Child, with his messy ass. And you know the fun is gone. So I already, he over here spilling somebody else's tea. Like, bitch, what are you doing with your life? What's going on with you? Like, but anyway, this isn't about Dion. Who I've grown to like, mind you. You know, last season he was, he did like his little redemption. Yeah, so hopefully he stays, fun, messy, not, draining messy. But yeah, like I said previously, like if I were Kimmy, I would also kind of feel a way if you were laughing at me being jumped. Like if we were cool, if we were friends. I said, child, this surprise appearance, they pulling all stops. When Messiah came in, I guess it was a surprise meetup, which I'm never a big fan of surprise meetups, especially at your house. Like that's a recipe for disaster. But it is what it is. But I said Milan is kind of being put in like a rock and a hard place because I feel like Milan is titled the bone carrier, but if he wasn't, I feel like because Milan is like kind of like in between, like he's friends with both sides, it's like he's deemed the bone carrier and thus messy. But it's like if he's friends with both sides, he's friends with both sides. He's not picking sides. So it's like if he wasn't telling people things and y'all found out after the fact, y'all would be like, well, why didn't you say something? But then when he said something, it's like, well, you carrying bones. So it's like, which do you want? Do you want him to not say anything? Or do you want him to like tell you, because it would have been messy if he invited Kimmy and then invited Isaiah, and then this situation happened. Kimmy could turn around and be like, bitch, if y'all had this conversation, why didn't you tell me that he felt
Right.
this way about me, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not trying to put on my cape for Milan, but I just feel like they're definitely gonna hard for Milan this season for some reason. But again, I feel like Milan can hold his own. But yeah, so we kind of they kind of make amends, I guess you could kind of say. They all kind of like come to some understanding. Then it cuts to, I guess, what's gonna happen next episode. I guess there's gonna be a meetup where the whole group meets up, and this is kind of given. I think that happened last season when the whole group met. I guess when Pyro was coming for Kimmy, it's kind of given that all over again. Like even just like the setup, the scene, and like where they were. But yeah, I guess it flashes forward, and I guess something happened with Kimmy and Isaiah. Kimmy kind of freaks out, had that breakdown in her car, said she was tired of these maggots. Tired of these maggots. I said, but then I was like, you know what, girl? I get it. I get it. I get it. She's tired of these maggots. I said, well, I mean, listen, if you're gonna be transphobic, like
Very true.
I
Yes.
would be tired of it too. And it seemed like it was not just about Isaiah. It seemed like it could have been also about just her life and like what she's been experiencing. But this did happen last season. I don't know what the issue is. I don't really even know what Pyro's issue was with Kimmy. I remember asking him when we interviewed him on our Instagram. But yeah, I don't know what the issue was then. This issue with Isaiah is just kind of giving storyline, like you just wanted something to say, wanted to have beef with somebody. And yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm also tired of the I'm also tired of these maggots. My goodness. But yeah,
You
I
maggots are getting on my nerve
for real. For real.
Goodness.
But shout out to Spicy Original. Thank you for being here. I know we kind of went live like random. We were gonna do a recorded episode, but decided to do a live. But be on the lookout for a future recorded, edited episode from us. But yeah, thank you for everybody that came through. Dealing with our technical difficulties because we definitely started off kind of rocky. But Pickens Plays says Dion could be he embellishes too much. Like he can be shady, or I feel like Dion he kind of does too much sometimes, but it's like I don't know. He does too much sometimes, but I feel like last season he gave the perfect balance. He was more funny than he was like negative, which I like. Because he has a good personality. He is funny, but it's like it's almost similar to Dre Simber, where it's like Dre Simber is funny, but like I feel like he dwells too much in the negativity that it kind of drags his whole like vibe down versus like him just being fun and being like funny and interesting. I feel like that is a better way to go with these shows. But how do you feel about like this episode in itself? I guess like talking through it, does it change anything? Do you have any new thoughts?
Not really. It's still the Milan show as of right now.
Okay. Pickens Way said Milan is the only one who can be the bone carrier. He handles delivery and info so well. Yeah, I could say that. Yeah, I could see that. Like I feel like, and even with the whole Messiah thing, like you're mad that he went and told somebody else, but Messiah said it out loud. If Messiah didn't want nobody to know, he wouldn't have said it nothing. So to me, it wasn't given like he was trying to like get Messiah, like make Messiah seem some type of way. I think he was just like, bitch. He was more so just talking about what happened. Like, bitch, like, because I feel like if I was there and that happened, I would have said the shit too. I would have been like, guess what this bitch said? Like, like it's not like he told Messiah, or it's not like he told Milan in like confidence. He said it out loud. So I guess it's free. It's a free for all for that. But
I agree.
They be thinking they are freaking frack when they really coke it up, and then I could see that. I could see that. Or they just don't really have much fun or like personalities outside of talking shit about people and being messy. That's what my issue is with Judy. Kimmy, I feel like Kimmy can be like, I feel like I kind of like Kimmy more than I like Judy. But yeah, Judy just gives like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what type of planet you on, but you are so obsessed with this drama, and I need you to develop something outside of that. Like, we just found out you do hair. I feel like we didn't know that last season.
Oh wait, I knew she did hair last season, but we kind of didn't get to see
know.
her doing hair.
I must have forgot. We never really saw her do it. I guess, but it's two people with personality: Dion and Milan, the Mean Girls, and then the Mean Girls are just vapid. Yeah, I can see that. Definitely giving vapid. But yeah, I'm excited to see what comes next. I feel like a lot of stuff is gonna happen. Like I said, thank you for everybody that popped through. It's been a long day and a very quirky live with technical difficulties and everything. So thank you for bearing with us. Definitely be on the lookout for more episodes from this season. Um yeah. Any words before we peel out, Troy?
Oh, just want to well, yeah, of course. I would say no, and then I start speaking. But just want to thank everybody for coming through, keying with us,
Yes.
chopping up with us in the comments. We hope you guys had a safe and happy Halloween, and we also hope that you guys have a safe weekend. Going into Friday, stay safe and stay warm. Thank you again for coming through.
Yes. This has been Key and Carry, where we key.
And we carry.
I'm Damon.
I'm Troy.
And we will see y'all in the next one. Peace.